We're going to change the rear end cover on this 2002 Ford Ranger. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and subscribe to all of our notifications. That way you'll get a heads up when we upload a new video.
All right, so we got our 13 millimeter set up. We're going to crack these loose. The tag for the rear axle with all the information on it. We want to make sure that we put this back on, so it's important to keep that. Alright, now we're going to crack this last one loose slowly so we don't make a mess. Kind of the object here, trying not to make a mess. So I'd rather let it drain a little slow and not make a mess than have it gush all over the place. Alright, so we've drained the cover down. Didn't make a mess, fortunately, at least not yet. Okay, we have our last bolt out. Put that down. Take the cover off. Okay. Now, this has had a gasket put on it before, so that's nice. Goes right off. Okay, sit them on our own cover. Alright, looking at the cover, we're going to go do an inspection over here. So we wipe the cover down. And we want to make sure that the cover doesn't have any dimples coming up on it, and it doesn't. It's all flat right here. So we know it's going to have a nice mating surface. We're going to clean this all out. You can brake clean it if you want. You can just wipe it down with a rag. Just want it to be clean. Get our surface clean, and we have a new gasket over here that we purchased. And we're going to put this all back together. We're going to use a light, thin coat of grease over here to hold the gasket in place, catch all our bolts and snug them up. You don't want to over tighten them and then just, you know, push the metal through on the pan here so it's dimpled. So when you snug them down with the air ratchet, you're going to use your hand ratchet to tighten these all evenly all around. We'll go over that. All right, let's get a little grease on it. Okay, we're going to take a thin coat of grease, apply it to the pan. What I like about doing this, when you go to tighten it up, you know that it's tightened down on the flat surface. At the end, you're going to see just a little bit of grease ooze out the side of the cover here. And that's kind of what I like to see with these. This will all help us hold the gasket in place. Some guys like to silicone the crap out of these. I'm not a fan of it. I just like to put a little thin coat of grease on. The grease will eventually just evaporate on you and you'll be good. So our holes. Let's go slip this cover back on. Okay, we're gonna wipe our axle down again. We have all our bolts over here. We're gonna stick this on. Grab our bolt on the top, make sure it's started correctly. Get one on the bottom. You know, with the gasket having a little grease, it's got a little slide room to it, you know. This was our bolt for our tag down here. I'm gonna wanna make sure that that stays on in case you have a need to order rear end parts or anything. All right, plug the air ratchet in, we'll snug this up. Okay, now we're going to use the hand ratchet, snug them down. Like I said, you don't have to crank down on these too much. Make sure that they're snug. Alright, so we're just going around and giving a final torque so everything's evenly tightened. Okay, we're good. We're going to wipe this cover down and we're going to get your fill plug. We'll show you the fill plug so that we can show you how to fill it up. And we'll cover that. So the fill plug's over here. We'll put our 3/8 ratchet in there, crack that loose. Pull that out. And then you can put your fluid in here. This wheels, the axle fluid on this thing was replaced recently. It's like $15 a quart. So we kept it in a clean bucket. We're gonna just use the suction gun, suck it up, reuse it.
If you bought new fluid, you could use a transfer pump like this right out of the jug.
Yeah, or you can squeeze the jug to get it in there.
Yeah, if you can get the jug up there, you can do that too.
Probably about 2.5 quarts of fluid to fill this rear end. We have some new fluid, we'll top it off with it. Maybe we'll just use up as much as we can here. Okay. All right. All right, so we're gonna squeeze the rest of this tube in here. See if we can get this in.
Nice.
Beans were terrible last time.
Okay, it's starting to ooze out a little here. All right, so we're gonna put our plug in. Okay,
So when it starts oozing out, that's how you know when to stop.
yeah, it's full. It's all
That's
filled
what I
up.
used to say when I'm eating grandma's.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna snug our plug up in here now. Again, you don't have to crank the hell out of this, just get it in there. Oh, it's snug. Wipe it down. We've got a slight pinion weep here. That's another video at some point. Oh. All right.